I'm going to be rebuilding the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but with the new addition of Barton. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and or subscribe. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video, and I'll do whatever rebuild the top comment says. But real quick announcement before I jump into the video, I think I might be switching to PlayStation for the next Madden or for NCAA 25. And I like Xbox, I like the controller, I like Xbox in general, but they just made an update to where you have to upload your videos to OneDrive. And if you guys don't know, I record all of my videos off of an external hard drive from my Xbox. They allow you to do that, but to a limited degree, because they want you to use OneDrive and pay for a subscription to use OneDrive storage, which I've never done before, and I don't plan to pay a subscription just to record some videos. I know it may seem like I'm being cheap. No, I'm not paying $40 or $50 a month just for extra storage whenever I can just buy a PlayStation and record videos just fine off PlayStation and upload the exact same way. So Xbox is just price gouging people and extorting their fan base and their customers with this. Well, specifically me, not everyone, but it just doesn't allow me to record properly the way I always do through Xbox. So it's very frustrating. Maybe they'll fix this in the next update, but as of right now, they want everyone to pay for their OneDrive subscription, which I'm not going to do. I would rather just switch to PlayStation because I've been playing Spider-Man and it's sick. I've always wanted to. So maybe I switch to PlayStation. It's not final, but I most likely will whenever it comes to NCAA 25 or Madden 25. So no updated rosters. If you're on Xbox, potentially, just letting you know, it's not a guarantee, but it will most likely happen. But anyways, sorry to crush your hearts. Let's move into the rebuild. In the draft, they got Braswell, which was a good addition. I believe he is out of Alabama, is he not? He is out of Alabama. They also got Jalen McMillan and, of course, Barton in the first round. They got Bucky Irving as well. I have him as the third string. Let's actually move him to the second string. And I believe earlier today, as I'm recording, the Sterling Shepard did get signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't really plan on using him, though. And then everyone else here for the O-line, getting Barton to replace Ryan Jensen. I think that was a good move. And then the rest of the O-line, other than Tristan Wirfs, not really the biggest fan of. Baker Mayfield, though, I'm not going to lie. Whenever Baker Mayfield went to the Panthers, I was like, this is his time to redeem himself, and he did awful. I was out on Baker Mayfield. I was like, he did awful with the Panthers. He's not going to do well. He went to the Rams, and I believe everyone saw that Thursday night football game with the Rams and Raiders. He was throwing dots against the Raiders, and he lit them up. And then I was like, okay, Baker could have something as a bridge QB. He went to Tampa Bay. I thought he was going to be a bridge QB, but he low-key bought out, winning the Buccaneers a wild card matchup against a former Super Bowl contender in the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, not former. I would still say the Eagles are Super Bowl contenders potentially, but they just lost Jason Kelce. But anyways, back on topic, Baker Mayfield. I'm going to try to rebuild the Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield. I want to see him succeed. I want to see him do well. Even as a Ravens fan, I don't care if he was on the Browns. I want to see Baker Mayfield do well. And then you got Rashad White, or is it Rashad White, out of Arizona State, of course. You got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan. Offensive line, I already mentioned, Cade Otton. And then defensive line, I moved Kalijah Kancey inside to defensive tackle. I know he's 6'1", 280, a little bit lighter for his size, but his draft comparison was actually Aaron Donald, I remember whenever he was coming out. So maybe that's true, but this is what we got so far. Surprised that Vita Vea is not an X factor. Maybe he is and just didn't update properly. They got Jamel Dean. They traded away Carlton Davis, Anton Winfield Jr. Didn't he get a huge payday in real life? And shouldn't he also be a superstar dev? Anyways, I'm going to ignore that. Levante David got re-signed, and then they also got Jordan Whitehead, and I believe Tyke Smith of Georgia. He's pretty good. Yeah, I know his face card doesn't look exactly like what it is. I made the rosters, but they didn't really have a good face card along with his dreads, so I guess I just made him bald because he had a big forehead. But anyways, apart from that, let's move into the midseason mark. 2 and 4, as we are third in the division here. Fourth in rushing defense. Offensive passing game is 8th, but offensive points per game is 27th. And I usually get questions a lot about the playbooks I run. This is what I'm running for this video. Maybe I'll switch up Buffalo's defense or maybe to multiple zone run. Maybe that would work better. It actually puts our QB in a scheme fit, so I'm actually going to change it from vertical zone run to multiple zone run. For the scouting national focus, I want to do linebackers since Levante David is old and our outside linebackers aren't really that good. For the players ready to negotiate, Anton Winfield Jr. got like a bag in real life. I don't know how much it was, but I'll just give him this because I can't update contracts in Madden if you guys don't already know this. Then Mike Evans, he's 30 years old. I want to keep him around, but I don't know how far he's going to regress. Let's see if he accepts 2 years for his contract. He does accept 2 years. I believe it was 1 or 2 years he signed in real life. I don't know how much it was exactly. Again, I don't memorize all these things. Then Elijah Klein, All these other guys I don't really need. Chase McLaughlin I actually do want back. I'll do 5 years, just why not keep him around for the rest of the rebuild. He resigns. Then I'll probably accept the option for Joe, and then Elijah Klein here. He shouldn't be on a 1-year deal. This should be a 4-year contract since he was drafted, so I'm going to change this, but for now, let's move into the playoffs. And we actually make the playoffs after I change the scheme, and we are here to face the Eagles once again, as we also beat the Panthers in Week 18. 11-6, top of the division. My defense collapsed completely, other than the defensive points per game, but my offense improved, so I guess winning is all that matters to us, which I'm fine with. For the stats and awards, Baker Mayfield looks like a top 5 QB here, 5th best offense in the NFL, 29th defense. Doesn't make much sense, but either way, oh, of course, Dak Prescott wins the league MVP. Thank you, EA, for your marvelous game. Baker Mayfield, 9th for league MVP, threw 13 receptions, but still 33 touchdowns, 4,400 yards, 107 pass rating. Still a great year for Baker. And then Rachaad White with 16 touchdowns, 3.6 per carry isn't the best, but 16 touchdowns definitely makes up for it. Mike Evans with 104 receptions, almost 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, amazing year. Chris Godwin, only 2 touchdowns, 950 yards. Jalen McMillan with a nice rookie season with 927 yards. 8 touchdowns. Cade Otton with 6 touchdowns, 800 yards. And then where was Sterling Shepard? Yeah, wide receiver 4s do absolutely nothing in Madden Simulation. Defensively, Levante David with 122 tackles for a loss, 15 for Chris Braswell, 9.5 sacks. This is a crazy rookie year for Chris Braswell. Hopefully he does this well in real life. Then Greg Gaines actually with 2nd in tackles for a loss instead of Vita Vea. That's surprising. Sacks though, Vita Vea with the 2nd most in 7.5 and 6 for Joe. And then interceptions 2 for Bryce Hall. Safeties on the team is 0. Defensive touchdowns is 0. Can we beat the Philadelphia Eagles once again to move on to the divisional round in this simulation? We do not. 28-16. Let's move into the offseason. And the Ravens beat the league MVP in the Super Bowl as Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Dak, of course, league MVP. Mike McCarthy, coach of the year. Sure, dude. Rashee Rice, with the 6-game suspension at least in real life, wins Offensive Player of the Year for the Chiefs, and he wins Rookie of the Year somehow. And Dallas Turner gets Rookie of the Year for the Vikings, which is unfortunate for Chris Braswell. In the NFC South, Cam Jordan, Andy Lee, Troy Hill, Kirk Cousins, and William Goldston all retires. Kirk Cousins immediately retires as soon as Michael Penix gets drafted, it seems like, but I mean, I guess he waits a whole season. But either way, Penix will now get a chance. For the team upgrades, Baker Mayfield goes up to Superstar Dev. That's going to be amazing for his development. I don't know why he necessarily got it, but he got it. I mean, top 10 for league MVP. Maybe that's why. I don't really see that very often. Usually the AI is like, minus 2 XP. That's usually how it works. But for the defense, any other upgrades? Chris Braswell only stays at Star Dev, which is unfortunate. And then Dobby, I think it's Dobby or whatever. He only has Star Dev as he gets upgraded to Star Dev. Anton Winfield Jr. goes up to Superstar Dev. There are no other upgrades on the team. For the players that get to negotiate, I'll accept the option for Joe. Greg Gaines can walk, Chase Edmonds, and all these other extras can walk. I only have 7.9 million cap room, so for this year, I'm just going to skip out on free agency. And the Broncos have the #1 overall pick after Bo Nix, and they're drafting an edge rusher. I thought they were going to replace the QB immediately because usually the AI does that, but the AI believes in Bo Nix. KJ Cheeks at a Mizzou here, 5'11", 200 pounds, elite agility, great acceleration, only solid speed, great change of direction, marginal strength, A awareness. He looks good, but my problem with taking guys this high is the fact that the AI usually passes on them for a reason, which is usually just means that they have normal dev. I don't mind taking a shot in later rounds, but for right now, I might look at other guys. Still kind of want a safety to replace Jordan Whitehead. Maybe this guy's the guy. You know what? I'll just take the shot here. KJ Cheeks out of Mizzou here. He looks really good athletically. He's very nice across the board. A awareness. He's going to have a high overall either way. KJ Cheeks, hidden dev. Good. I'm glad he had it. 88 speed, 93 acceleration, 93 agility. He's going to be the strong safety over Jordan Whitehead. In round number 2, getting middle linebacker Eddie Carmichael out of Oklahoma, 6'1", 250, hidden dev, 90 speed, 87 acceleration, A's and B's across the board. I'm probably going to start him out right outside linebacker. In round number 3, picking up right guard Doug Brackett out of USC, 6'4", 322 with 92 strength as a late 3rd round pick. That's a steal. Hidden dev, A's and B's across the board. I'm going to start him at left guard. Now this is the team after the draft. I'm going to move Brackett, not Bucky Irving. I'm going to move my right guard Brackett over to left guard. And KJ Cheeks is an 80 overall. That's an amazing overall to start out with. I didn't think he was going to be that good. I'm not going to look at his dev, but I am going to move him to strong safety, and he's already going to start over Jordan Whitehead because number 1, he's a rookie, and number 2, he's already the same overall as Jordan Whitehead. They're both an 80 overall. That's actually a crazy pickup. Then Carmichael is a 73. He's probably going to get a player boost whenever I move him to outside linebacker. Yeah, he goes from a 73 to a 74. I think we honestly had an amazing draft, getting 3 hits in a row in the first 3 rounds. So that works for me. And Mach here, I want him to move to right guard, but I guess I'm going to have to cut one of these guys. Nope, he's a left guard. There, the offensive line is fixed now, and we're getting better and better, slowly but surely. Obviously, that's how a rebuild works. The defense looks sick. Levante David probably will retire after this season. Cheeks will be the starter. Specialist-wise, I want Jalen McMillan in the slot. And then Cheeks, I don't want playing sub linebacker, please. I'd rather have Carmichael there. Chris Braswell is starting. And then everyone else looks good. Again, Cheeks, you're not a sub linebacker, and you're also not my slot corner. Please play the position I assign you to play. We are 4-3, third in the division. The Falcons with Michael Penix seem to be doing good. The Saints are not doing so hot, and the Panthers currently hold the division as we lose them in Week 7, 31-14. Wasn't that the Week 18 score from last season? Our team ranks. Our offense points per game is 7th. Offensive passing game is 8th. Our defense is 27th. So this is pretty annoying, but no, I guess we'll just have to figure it out. Scouting national focus, I'm going to be doing defensive back to help Jamel Dean. For the players who get to negotiate, Tristan Wirfs is the franchise left tackle. Let's increase. Oh my God, I'm going to have to pay this dude $30 million a year. You know, I mean, it's got to happen. It's not like I can let him walk. My God. Anyways, Chris Godwin, he's going to start regression soon, but I honestly want to keep him for the entire rebuild, so even if he does regress, I'm signing him to a 4-year deal. Baker, I want him for the entire rebuild, $35 million a year for 4 years. He re-signs on that. Bryce Hall, I mean, he's not bad, but he's not really going to progress on our scheme, and he doesn't really want to be here, so if he wants to walk, he can walk. Everyone else here, Randy Gregory, Sterling Shepard, should have only been on 1 year. Everyone else here I'm just not interested in, so let's move into the playoffs. And we go 12-5 and take back the division. Wow. Okay, good stuff. Here to face the Panthers, who smacked us at the midseason, but evidently we're on top of the division, so we're better than them. Coming off a 1-point loss to the Niners, that's tough. Our defense has significantly improved, and our offense as well, so we came back at the end of the season just like we did last year. Stats and awards, Baker Mayfield looks like a top 3 QB, first in passing touchdowns here. Baker is your league MVP, baby. Baker on top in Tampa Bay. Browns gave up on him too early. 5th best offense in the NFL. 3rd best defense, that's what I'm talking about. 4,600 yards, 43 touchdowns to 7 receptions, 114 pass rating. Let's go, Baker. Let's go, Baker. Rashad White with 3.6 per carry only, but 13 touchdowns kind of makes up for that. But still, it's a little bit, isn't that the same as last year? Didn't he have a 3.6 average? Either way, 13 touchdowns is still nice. Mike Evans here. I was about to say Rashad Evans, but Mike Evans, 106 receptions, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jalen McMillan, 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Maybe that's superstar dev. That's a really good season. Chris Godwin, 9 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Cade Otton, 700 yards, 10 touchdowns. Great ball distribution from Baker here. Levante David with 128 tackles. Tackles for a loss, 23 for Vita Vea, 20 for Kalijah Cansey, and then 17 for Chris Braswell. Sacks, 9 for Vita Vea, 8 for Chris Braswell, 6.5 for Joe, 3 for Kalijah, and then interceptions is going to be 5 for Bryce Hall. Still not going to re-sign him. 4 interceptions for Anton Winfield Jr., 3 for KJ Cheeks, baby. Main's going to clap your cheeks. And then safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns, 1 for Bryce Hall. Can we beat the Carolina Panthers to move on to the divisional round with league MVP Baker Mayfield? We do 14-11 defensive shootout. Now, can we beat the team that beat us in week 18 with the league MVP Baker? I actually want to hop into this. I usually don't hop into the divisional round unless it's the 4th and final year, but this seems like an interesting matchup to me. Here we are against the Niners. They're going to open up with 3. We're going to open up with a punt. Not really a good start for us, and then they're finally going to put another 3 on the board. Then they're finally going to score. Offense needs to wake up. We were shut out in the first half completely. Niners defense is just unbeatable to the league MVP. Apparently, league MVP finally scores 21-14. Can we make a 21-0 comeback? 4th down alert. I'm going to take over for this entire final drive. That was weird. It glitched out. Oh, yeah. It went to the 2-minute warning, then it glitched out. But anyways, let's try and clutch this up. 4th down and 6. Dump it off to the back. What is that? How is that a good accuracy pass? How is that a good accuracy pass? Like, no. Let me see this. This is good accuracy pass. My guy gets player bumped, and EA pushes this game out every single year. This is an easy first down on 4th and 1. He headbutts my running back. How is this not a foul? This is an easy 1st and 10, and that's good accuracy. This right here, your league MVP quarterback, this is considered a good accuracy throw. There is 10 feet between him and the ball. How is this possibly a good accuracy throw? Well, that's probably going to be the game. Yeah, 28-14. That's going to be the game. 21-28. I lose because EA said so. I don't... Stupidest thing ever. Like, your league MVP misses the throw by 10 feet, and it's considered good accuracy. And your Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Ooh, who would have guessed? Marquise Bell wins the Super Bowl MVP. Baker Mayfield wins the league MVP, but can't complete a 5-yard pass. And then Buccaneers KJ Cheeks wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's a W. In the NFC South, you have punter for the Saints, Demario Davis, and Adam Thielen all retiring. For the team upgrades, Baker Mayfield goes to Superstar X Factor, and your league MVP is an 83 overall. That doesn't make any sense at all, but sure, I'll take the X Factor. And these are the abilities I'm giving my league MVP quarterback. It doesn't unlock them all just yet. And then for the rest of the team, surprise Jalen McMillan having almost 1,100 yards, 91 receptions, double-digit touchdowns. No upgrade. Not going to force it. Cade Otton goes up to Superstar. Did he go from normal to Superstar? I didn't see him get star last year, but I guess he's a Superstar now. Chris Braswell goes to Superstar Dev. Bryce Hall goes to Superstar Dev. KJ Cheeks, did he come with Superstar Dev? No, he got increased to Superstar Dev for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. He seems like a beast already. Vita Vea goes up to X Factor, and Anton Winfield Jr. goes up to X Factor, and then Carmichael goes up to star. So team is looking really good. Hopefully we can bounce back in the next season and not get screwed over by the AI. For the players that it's negotiate, Bryce Hall, like, I mean, he had a really good year with us. It's like, am I willing to pay him $7 million a year for a guy that I'm probably going to replace, or I can probably just get someone better in free agency? Probably. I'm just going to replace him, and then everyone else here, I'm just not going to re-sign at all. Yeah, these guys are just extras. $46 million to spend in free agency. And we got Charvarius Ward. Wow. Easy superstar replacement, higher overall. He's similar age to him. Yeah, I'm going to pay Charvarius Ward, not Chardavius Ward. I feel like I say that a lot, but Charvarius Ward, my bad. After free agency, I did get Charvarius Ward. I also got Brandon Scherf at right guard, and I got your Super Bowl MVP, Marquise Bell, here to play in Tampa Bay. All had a high interest. I think we had a good free agency. Ooh, Brian Byers here at a USC 6'4", 183, A catching, A man coverage, B press, B zone coverage, very balanced athletically and skill wise. Can he play in the slot though is my question. I mean, 6'4" isn't much of a slot, but still, this guy looks too good to pass up. I'm going to take Brian Byers here at a USC. Hidden dev, 91 speed, 95 acceleration, 91 change direction, A's and B's across the board. He looks sick, especially for a late first round pick. And in round number 2, getting left outside linebacker Jimmy Monroe out of Monroe, not Monroe, Monroe, my bad, out of Oklahoma. 6'1", 220, hidden dev, 86 speed, 90 acceleration, 87 agility, and then A man coverage, A awareness, B pursuit. He looks great. In round number 3, getting defensive tackle Chris Hill out of Clemson, 6'6", 301, 93 strength, 80 acceleration, hidden dev. Not really great at skills, but I saw the great strength and 6'6" size, so I was like, why not? For a 3rd round pick, hidden dev, I think that was a steal. Now, this is the team after the draft. Mike Evans has regressed, so maybe his contract will go down too. So it's a good and bad thing here. Looks like the AI picked up this guy named Chapman here. And then, honestly, the O-line, a lot better with Brandon Scherf there. Offense looks great, 88 overall team. Defensively, Monroe here is a 71 overall. We're still going to start him because this guy, isn't he more of an edge rusher? Yeah, he is more of an edge rusher. 60 in pass coverage skills. And then Hill is a 72 overall. Byers is a 78 overall with the boost. Great defensive lineup here, specialist. Do I want Charvarius Ward in the slot? I mean, I guess technically he plays there more, so maybe I'll just keep him there. And then Byers, do I move him to the 1 since Charvarius Ward is going to be in the slot? I think that would be best. And then everyone else here, Chris Braswell, why is he not starting? I don't want this guy started. That's so annoying. Anyways, I'll fix that manually, and Jalen McMillan's going to go back in the slot. Everything else looks good. And your league MVP is 0-7 now. The team just sucks for no reason. I've changed nothing. I've improved the team. This is EA Sports at its finest. Scouting national focus. I guess an entire new team. Maybe receiver because Mike Evans is getting old. Players ready to negotiate. Cade Otton. Sure, 4 years, about $9 million a year. He re-signs with the team. Rashad White at this point, why not? 4-year deal for him. He's an 86 overall. And then Joe doesn't even really want to be here. He hasn't really been giving me crazy numbers, but if he does perform well, I'll pay him at the end of the year. Mike Evans is going to regress even further, so depends on his stats as well. Luke, he just doesn't want to be here. He wants to have a mentor at his position, but how much does he want even if I do give him a mentor? He wants $14 million a year. Do I even have that, really? Maybe. Honestly, I'll just get him a mentor. Signing Cameron Irving here at right tackle just for a mentor tag. And then Luke now has, is it Luke Godek or Godek? I don't really know. I said Godek twice. Either way, Luke, my boy, you're getting re-signed for the team long term. $39 million left. Maybe, I don't really know what I want. Then Christian Eisen here, sick last name by the way. He's the Bleach antagonist. But Christian Eisen, I mean, he's young. He doesn't really have a dev, but still, it's a pretty cheap contract. I think I'm just going to sign him for that. Brandon Scherf is going to go down in overall, so I'm just going to wait for that. Jordan Whitehead can walk. Then Brendan Rice is on our team. I guess they didn't work out with the Chargers. Levante David, his contract and his overall is going to go down as well, so I'll wait for that. And then Jake Carmada and Kalijah Cansey. Honestly, I'll just keep my punter. So we're going to sign this, and then we're going to see how we do. We're not even going to make the playoffs because for some reason my team is 0-7, but let's just see what we have. And we finished 6-11. I mean, we're not at the bottom of the division, but how did we go from back-to-back taking top of the divisions to just being terrible in the next season after improving my team and after coming off a league MVP season with my quarterback? Stats and awards, Baker Mayfield just sucks now. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not the best. 14th offense, 22nd defense. I mean, compared to the rest of the NFL, he's 28th in pass rating and 18th in passing touchdowns after winning league MVP. 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 7 receptions, 98 pass rating. This is good in real life, but in Madden, it's not all that. Rashad White finally averaging 4 a carry, 15 touchdowns, 2 fumbles though, but still nice season from him. Mike Evans still 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. If you still give me numbers, I'm still going to sign him. Jalen McMillan 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Chris Godwin not really living up to his contract here. Cade Otton was 707 yards, only 1 touchdown though. Levante David with 119 tackles for a loss, 22 for Kalijah Cansey, and then sacks 7.5 for Chris Braswell, 6 for Kalijah, 6 for Vita Vea, and then interceptions 3 for Levante David. Safeties on the team is 0, defensive touchdowns is 0. And 3 times in a row, the Cowboys make the Super Bowl, but this time the Jaguars win it. Foeseta Luakon wins the Super Bowl MVP. Brock Purdy wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Buccaneers. In the NFC South, DeAndre Hopkins retires on the Panthers. His career dies in Carolina. Jake Matthews retires on the Falcons. Brendan Scherf and Levante David both retire for us. And for the team upgrades, Mike Evans is down to an 82 overall. Chris Godwin's an 88. Jalen McMillan only got up to an 82 overall as well. O-line still seems solid. It's nothing crazy, though. Still an 88 overall team, if that means anything. Still got Marquise Bell, but still like a different linebacker, though. Cheeks is doing well. And then Byers only has star dev. But Kalijah Cansey, superstar dev. That's a nice upgrade. Joe, honestly, what have you given us? I mean, is it really worth re-signing him? I mean, 13 tackles for a loss is nice, but it's like no double-digit sacks throughout your entire career. I don't know if this is worth it. $31 million to spend. I'll accept the option for Kalijah, but Joe is honestly going to walk. He's about to start regressing at 28. I know we're going into the 4th and final year, but it's like he hasn't really done much, and he doesn't even want to be here, so I'm going to let him walk. And then Mike Evans here. I'm going to do... What do I do about this? Do I want to... 2 years, 10 million. I mean, he's still giving me numbers, but might as well just keep him for the final year. 22 million left. What do I even do with the rest of this? Honestly, at this point, I think I might just tag and trade Joe since my boy just doesn't want to be here. Let's just see if he... Oh, no, he stays. Okay. I did not want that. I'm still going to trade him regardless. Now I'm trading away Joe, a 3rd round pick and a 6th round pick for middle linebacker Ernest Jones from the Rams. And I don't really have any money left. I only have 6.4 million, so that's unfortunate. So I'm just going to move into the draft. Russ Peters, we're at pick number 10. He's out of Stanford, 6'6", 255, great strength, decent speed. Not extremely athletic, but really nice skills. So maybe he's the guy here. And then another guy here, Antoine Williams, where we have Jaquan Owens. Boise State, 6'3", 254. More athletic though, and his skills are a little bit more balanced as well. And this may be a better option, but I think the other guy, his size is just bigger in terms of height. His athleticism isn't as good, but his skills are better. And also the key thing here is Russ Peters, he has A awareness, does he not? He has A awareness, which means he's going to be on a higher overall, and this is the 4th and final season. So the overall matters more than the development trait. So Russ Peters is going to be the pick at pick number 10. He does have hidden dev regardless. 6'6", 255, my bad, not 225. 78 speed, 77 agility, 86 acceleration. A's and B's across the board. In round number 2, getting halfback Kyle Simpson out of LSU, 5'11", 231, 92 speed, 92 acceleration, hidden dev. Just more depth at running back. Now, this is the team after the draft and going into the 4th and final season. Simpson is a 75 overall, so that was a good pickup. It looks like Mike Evans might be a slot player now. No, I'm going to put him at the 2 here. Chris Godwin's going to be the 1. Jalen McMillan still going to stay in the slot. O-line and Graham Barton has progressed pretty nicely. Peters is a 74 overall. I mean, it's still an 88 overall team, the same team we had whenever Baker was a league MVP, and I honestly feel like it's improved, especially with the rookies, but the AI says otherwise, so I guess the AI is always right, and Jalen McMillan isn't even in the slot now, which is a bit annoying, so I guess Nah, do I put him at the 2? No. Chris Godwin's still going to be the number 1. I'm just going to leave it how it is, and then everything else here, Ernest Jones, I'm going to move to the 1. Actually, let's move the Super Bowl MVP, the number 1. And again, Peters, I want you playing rush right end, not whatever you're doing. All right. Anyways, let's move into the playoffs for the 4th and final year. Hopefully the AI doesn't screw me again. And we go 12-5 and take the division again. We just magically had a year where we were dog shit. EA Sports. But anyways, team ranks back to what they usually are. And the Niners, their weakest point of their team is now their defense. I don't really think that makes sense, but it's EA, so why not? Stats and awards, Baker Mayfield looks like a top 5 QB magically again. I don't know how that works, but it does, as he is 7th in the league for league MVP, and then 5th best offense in the NFL. Defensively, we are 5th. Okay, I don't know how our team is magically good again. Doesn't make any sense, but sure. Baker Mayfield, 4,500 yards, 34 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 114 pass rating. Yes, sir, that's a great season. Rashad White, my God, 4 fumbles this year, 11 touchdowns, 3.7 per carry. As soon as you got paid, you're like, let's just let go of the ball. But receiving-wise, Chris Godwin, 103 receptions, 1,500 yards, 19 touchdowns. Amazing year. That's easily superstar X Factor. Jalen McMillan hasn't been stellar, but actually, I mean, he's consistently produced almost a 1,000-yard season every single year for us, which is similar to what Mike Evans would always do. But now he finally has a season where he doesn't have 1,000 yards. But Jalen McMillan, very consistent with us, has been very good. 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns for him on this season. Ernest Jones, only with 88 tackles for a loss, 18 for Vita Vea sacks, 16.5 for Chris Braswell. Huge breakout year. That should be an X factor. 8.5 for Russ Peters in his rookie season. Already better than Joe. My boy Joe did nothing. All right. 12 tackles for a loss, 7 sacks for Vita Vea, 18 tackles for a loss for him as well, 5 sacks for Kalijah, then interceptions, 3 for Anton Winfield Jr., then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Anton Winfield Jr. Now, please, AI, please, Madden gods, bless me, Madden AI, please do your thing. Please, 37-25. Thank you. Here to face a divisional rival in the divisional round. Let's move into it. Here we are against the Carolina Panthers. We're at the Tampa Bay Stadium. Of course, for some reason, I thought this was a Super Bowl for a second, but still 10-0 start. It looks like Baker cannot perform in the playoffs whenever I hop into the games for some reason. Baker, please, finally taking the lead by 1 point, 14-13. Very tight game here, 21-13. Defense holding hella strong, and they will capitalize on it 24-13 as we will be moving on to the conference championship with Baker. And of course, we have to face the Madden gods themselves, like Dallas Cowboys, as if we lose here, they're going to go to their 4th Super Bowl in a row in this simulation. And some of you may be wondering, why do you hate the Cowboys so much? I don't necessarily hate the Cowboys. I just hate that they're so good in Madden for absolutely no reason. It's like, yes, CD's great, Micah Parsons is great, Dak Prescott is an X factor because he had a league MVP season. Well, he was top 5 for league MVP, I believe. Either way, we're smacking them here, so it doesn't really matter. They're usually so good in simulation that it makes it frustrating. It's like in Madden 20 whenever Jacoby Brissett would win league MVP all the time. But anyways, we're going to be moving on to the Super Bowl. I didn't even really need to keep up with the score there. 23-7 will be your final score. Here we are in the Super Bowl, here to face the 9-8 Indianapolis Colts. I'm assuming Anthony Richardson is still their QB. Maybe not. He is their QB. He is the QB of the future tag. It should just be QB, franchise QB, but still, he only has start Ev. I thought he would maybe have X factor by now. And for the team upgrades, KJ Simpson here. KJ Simpson, Kyle Simpson, who I picked up in the 2nd round, has superstar X factor. That would have been nice to have him in year number 1. But Chris Godwin, after his amazing year, gets superstar X factor and a bunch of XP boost. Well, not XP boost, but morale boost, whatever that is. 90 overall team with the boost here. You're telling me Chris Braswell gets 16.5 sacks in a season and he doesn't get a dev up? I'm giving him X factor. If you want to cry in the comments, I don't care. The video's already uploaded. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. Exactly. Defensively, Russ Peters, he only has start Ev, but it's fine. We made it to the Super Bowl. That's all that matters. Team looks great. 90 overall team. Let's see if we can beat Anthony Richardson and the Colts to capitalize on this rebuild. Here we are, still in Florida, not necessarily Tampa, but in Miami. We're close enough to home field advantage. But either way, 3-3 start for the teams. Jonathan Taylor touchdown there, 3-10, as it's 10-10 at halftime. We open up the half with a punt. They're going to score, though, on their possession, and it's 17-13. Do not choke this, Baker. Please clutch up like you did at Oklahoma. 3rd down alert, 4th down alert. I'm going to have to hop in, hopefully clutch this up. I don't like that they're blitzing a safety. Hopefully someone can pick him up. No, that's going to be a touchdown with Cade Otton, and it's going to be 20-17 against the Colts, but it's going to be a close game here. Do I hop in? Oh, they're driving. They're driving on us here. So let's just do key moments, slowly move around. No, it's going to be 20-24. At least we still have 3 timeouts left, so I'm going to have to go on this game-winning drive because my defense did not hold. First and 10, 2-minute drill. We got a screen going here for Rashad White. Block up the field. What is my offensive lineman doing? You got to block. Second down and 3. I think I might have Chris Godwin on the corner. He clearly pushed him, but he's going to be free down the sideline. I didn't even know what I was saying there. I was just so caught up. I was like, Chris Godwin, he's a beast. Doesn't matter. Let's keep the clock running. First and 10. What do we have? That should be a free check down there. I'm going to take a timeout and give my offense a rest. Second and 7. Second and 7. I'm actually going to run the ball here to give my offense a chance here to open up. Third down and 3. Want to make sure this one's good. We're going to take our time with this one. They're not in a goal line set. I think I am just going to run it again just to drain down the clock a little bit more. And it's going to be a touchdown for Rashad White. They have 9 seconds left with 3 timeouts to score as we're going to take this lead. I don't think they'll be able to do it. I'm not going to hop in. And they're not able to do it as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Jalen McMillan, Graham Barton, Chris Braswell, and of course, the Baker Mayfield win the Super Bowl for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Florida here. Let's see who your Super Bowl MVP is. Your Super Bowl MVP is the Baker Mayfield himself. Jalen Hurts wins the league MVP, and there are no other awards here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but we are successful in this simulation here with Baker Mayfield, Jalen McMillan, Graham Barton, and Chris Braswell. So if you guys did make it this far in the video, please make sure you like and or subscribe. I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know down in the comments below which team you want me to rebuild next, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.